everyone, and welcome to the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast, where we're back with another episode of The Hub where we celebrate and delve into the vibrant world of small businesses, an essential pillar of our communities. Today, we're set to explore how small businesses evolve into major players in their industries, tackle challenges in male-dominated sectors, and harness the power of effective leadership. We'll also dive into the significance of cultivating a culture that values diversity and inclusivity, particularly in leadership roles. We're quite thrilled to welcome Debbie Cosic, the CEO and founder of In2ition Realty, to our show. A trailblazer in the GTA real estate market since the 1980s, Debbie has overseen the sales and marketing of over $25 billion in real estate. Her firm, In2ition Realty, is renowned for its innovative approach to real estate brokerage, specializing in project marketing and selling new home communities and condos. Notably, Debbie has assembled a dynamic all-female executive leadership team, challenging norms in the traditionally male-dominated real estate sector. Join us as we uncover Debbie's extraordinary journey from her humble beginnings to leading one of Canada's most successful real estate firms. Good afternoon, Debbie, and welcome to the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast. How are you today?
Very good. I'm thrilled to be here.
We're quite thrilled to be here with you. I mean, you're quite a symbol of resilience, and you're doing amazing work, with women empowerment in such a male-dominated industry, which is the real estate. And we'd love to uncover more aspects of your journey as we go. Now, Debbie, let's kind of tap into your entrepreneurial journey. I mean, building a successful business often really starts with compelling personal journey. Could you share with us your journey from arriving in Canada to establishing In2ition Realty?
Well, my story really starts with 56 years ago. I'm 58 now. When my parents first came to Canada, they came here as immigrants. They chose Canada randomly, no friends, no family. They came here with myself. I was 19 months old at the time, and we slept on a park bench for 2 nights because with a suitcase, a small child, they had nobody to turn to. So they decided they were going to look for a church steeple because they believed that coming from a small town in Croatia, that a priest would usually help the community, and that's what ended up happening. They found a church, and the priest spoke multiple languages and was kind enough to take them to the immigration office. And when they arrived at the immigration office, they very quickly settled them, found them a rooming house with a Croatian-speaking landlord. And my dad they found him a job the following day. So he was working in construction a day later. And within a week, my mother was waitressing. So very hardworking, entrepreneurial qualities. They ended up bringing within the first couple of years 5 of their siblings to Canada who have all established families and their own businesses and now in their 3rd generation of being in Canada. But both my parents went on to establish their own businesses. My father, a plumbing company with his brothers, and my mom, a catering company, both very successful companies. So they had that entrepreneurial mentality right from the beginning. They always pushed us to be as educated as possible. They always had the mantra that you could accomplish anything in Canada. They came from a communist country that stifled people and their talent, where they felt that Canada was the exact opposite. It created this stage where you could be anything. My father used to tell us, you could be the prime minister of this country if you want. You just have to work hard, study, follow the great Canadian dream. And so, they did for the last, 56 years. They follow that dream, and they established both successful businesses, successful families, children, grandchildren, etc. And that was really sort of the nexus of spurring me on, giving me that strength that anything is possible. And that's really what I think propelled me to start my own business and to go through the ups and downs of starting your own business, looking back at my parents and thinking if they could achieve what they achieved, not speaking the language, not having any family, having a couple $100 in their pocket, sleeping on a park bench, I should be able to achieve whatever I set my dreams to.
Now, we love the inspiration and the motivation behind you finding your path and you leading a great organization, Debbie. But just to kind of dive deeper into this topic, what were the key turning points or decisions that shaped your path to success?
I worked for a developer for 12 and a half years, and I was tired of hiring and firing listing brokerages, which is project marketing brokerages that represent pre-construction solely for developers across Canada. And I had hired many, and they always seemed to fall short. So after 12 and a half years, I thought, I'm going to go out and I'm going to create my own brokerage and my own entity that is going to cater solely to developers and be able to provide the services that I needed working for a developer on my side of the boardroom table. And that's how In2ition sprung originally. We borrowed myself and the people that I'd gathered around me to help me found the company. We borrowed $50,000 from my mother's line of credit. And I remember when she wrote us the check, she said, "This is not for the company. This is for you to buy the real estate to house the company." So she always had this very entrepreneurial, real estate driven mentality. So we went out and we bought a small home that we converted to an office. And that's where we started our first that's where In2ition really sprung from. That's where we started our first business from.
That's beautiful.
So we left a cushy job working for a developer, very well paid, and really just, enter that world of unknown. We always felt that, we had the talent to be able to deliver what was needed in the marketplace. But like anything, there are challenges in the beginning, and you have to rise, to those challenges.
Absolutely. I mean, your story is a testament for determination and vision, and it's quite an inspiration for aspiring entrepreneurs, Debbie. But let's kind of talk about female empowerment in real estate. I mean, leading a female-driven team in a male-dominated industry. I know I touched base on this before. Is both challenging and empowering. Debbie, do you believe that focusing on female empowerment has been a secret to your success?
To tell you the truth, it did not start off as female empowerment. It started off looking for the best talent that was possible out there. So it kind of took the mentality of we're going to hire from outside the industry. We're going to bring these great minds together that are going to be very innovative and creative. So we hired from retail, we hired from HR, we hired from advertising, we hired from marketing. I was the only real estate person on our executive team when we compiled this team. And it so happened that all these multi-talented people that we were looking for were females. It ended up being very, very strong, empowered females.
That's amazing. And to build onto this a bit more, Debbie, how has this approach influenced the culture and performance at In2ition Realty?
The female executive team has truly given us an edge. We all know that women are the world's greatest multitaskers. We found that not only were they some of the hardest working individuals, but they also gave us that advantage because construction back then was a male-dominated industry, and for the most part, it still is. So being able to have that intuitive female edge really gave us an advantage. We found that when we assembled this team from the various different industries, they were prepared to think out of the box. They weren't jaded with real estate. This is the way everybody does it. This is the way it does. And when we used to look at pre-construction projects, everybody would be doing the same thing. Everybody would be selling the same way. And so our team was empowered, and they weren't, shackled by that "this is the way it's done" attitude to come in there and just think out of the box. And it really worked like a charm for us. When we first started off, we were named the cleanup queens in the industry. So we got a break by being able to relaunch a very large project. A financial institution called us in to take over a failing project, and we were very successful. And we ended up on, being featured in the Toronto Star as the cleanup queens. And that really sprungboard our careers because the phone started to ring off the hook with developers that had failed projects that had been launched by other project marketing or listing companies. They were calling us to come in and relaunch these projects. And because, apart from myself, nobody was from real estate, there was no boxes. There was no boundaries. They would just throw ideas on the table and, mill these ideas around and come up with what the best possible solution, as creative as it could be for this industry, and what would work for the actual development too.
Wow. I mean, your commitment to female leadership and empowerment is just not inspiring, Debbie. It's really, setting a stage and being a model for success in any industry. And on that note, there are traits for long-term business success, and sustaining success in competitive markets like Toronto's real estate requires specific traits and skills. Debbie, what are the top 3 traits you believe are necessary for enduring success in business?
I believe that the top 3 traits are three words that we have actually incorporated into our signatures now: power, passion, and excellence. Power is the ability to be bold and powerful. Passion is to be love what you do and be the best you possibly can at it. And excellence is to set that gold standard in the industry.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's amazing. And, how has these traits really played out in your leadership and business strategy?
I think combining these traits has given us the ability to create a very strong team, a team that is unfettered, so they have the ability to soar. We've been fortunate enough to be able to adapt that mentality of you can't continue to do what everybody else is doing. You have to be different. You have to be creative. You have to be innovative. And giving our team the ability to be powerful, passionate, excellent at what they do, working as a team, creating a culture. And culture for us is very, very important so that we can support ourselves as a team, that we have each other's backs. We meet every Monday over lunch. We go over all of our various projects. We talk about the difficulties. We share the successes together. But we have each other's support, and we understand that we're all one big team, and each other's successes is for everybody.
No, these insights are quite invaluable, actually, in terms of, especially to those that are looking to make a lasting impact, Debbie. Now, let's kind of discuss and go over some of the challenges in real estate and how to overcome them. Now, the real estate industry presents its own set of unique challenges, especially in the rapidly evolving markets. Debbie, could you share some of those significant challenges that you face in this sector, and how have you navigated these obstacles to maintain In2ition Realty's success?
We find that when we are faced with a challenge, we come up with a solution that is, we're always pushing that envelope and trying to be different, trying to be innovative. I said, we don't believe in that same old, looking at what has worked in past projects or what has worked with our peers. We look at being creative and innovative. We're not afraid to bring ideas that normally wouldn't be entertained. We're not afraid to bring those to boardroom tables because they have been so wildly successful for us in the past. So when there is a challenge, we'll always looking at that challenge from a different viewpoint, trying to, as I said, not regurgitate, not recycle, but look at different solutions for these challenges and not be afraid, because, if we look at some of the greatest minds right now in business, we look at something like, Tesla. I mean, this is a car company, one of the largest electric car company in the world, who does not have an automotive background. So when you look at things like this, you cannot be afraid to bring different ideas in and into the boardroom and onto your sales floors. And as I said, this has been wildly successful for us.
Debbie, your experiences in, I think from your experience, small business owners can really have this as a roadmap to situations that may be similar to them. Now, let's kind of discuss advancing women's leadership in business. I mean, advancing women leadership roles is quite crucial in these days for fostering diversity and driving innovation in business. In your particular journey of promoting female leadership, what initiatives have you found most effective in supporting and advancing women in business?
There is a myth, I believe, in business that women can't get along. And we've definitely dispelled that myth at In2ition, because we've treated everybody not necessarily as a male or female, but we've given them the worth that they deserve for the talent they have brought to the table. And we found that through this teamwork that we've become each other's biggest supporters. We've been very, very flexible with our work schedule. We brought a flexible work schedule to our real estate industry 15 years ago, prior to it being trendy. As soon as we founded the company, we felt that was something that was necessary for females to be able to multitask their lives with their careers. And we believe in creating a culture where people, strive for longevity with a company, where they feel comfortable enough that they can not only have a successful career, but they can also have a successful family life that is filled with wellness, that has, the ability to raise children, the ability to travel, the ability to take care of their own physical and mental health. And we know that does take time out of your day. So we are very understanding when it comes to providing flexibility. For example, if somebody sends me a picture of them at their child's ballet recital, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon at school, I applaud them. I'm happy that they're able to do that because I know and I trust in my team that the work gets done and may get done at midnight that night on a Saturday morning or whatever. But we give them that liberty of living their life, creating their life of wellness, of the things that make them healthy mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. You can't just be one-sided. It cannot just be work. That does not work when it comes to long-term health and long-term longevity with a company.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the dedication and your commitment to advancing women's leadership is quite inspiring, but at the same time, it really sets standards for industries that are looking to, do the same. And it's important for other industries to also emulate. Now, Debbie, to kind of build onto this a bit more, how can other industries implement similar strategies to encourage more female entrepreneurs and representation in leadership positions?
Well, we were very fortunate when we went looking. Weren't looking for the right woman. We were looking for the right person.
Mm-hmm.
And it so happened that the female team that evolved, the executive team, was all female. And we found that the qualities that we encountered or that we found were so important for us to be able to bring to the boardroom. So this was not just hard, strong business sense. They're very smart women. They're very highly educated. But they had a different side to them, an intuitive side that was creative, that had the ability to, that had wonderful people skills, that had the ability to think out of the box, that had the ability to multitask. I mean, when you have a large, development that's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and this is what you're dealing with for a developer on the table, you're driving the boat. You're coming up with a strategy, and everybody else is following you. The onus is on you to execute these sales and bring these projects to fruition so that construction can build them. There's a huge responsibility on the sales team. And we found that the qualities that women had and could bring to the table were that extra edge. It was just almost like that secret sauce that, went from being good to great.
Right. Debbie, your insights really offer practical solutions for creating more inclusive and diverse work environments. Now, before we conclude, could you share any final words of wisdom or advice for our listeners, especially those aspiring to make a significant impact in their respective fields?
Love what you do every day and create the environment that you want to be in every day. And that will reflect on your whole team, your business, the boardrooms you're in, the sales floors you're on.
Thank you so much, Debbie, for sharing your experiences and your wonderful insights. Your journey from humble beginnings to finding In2ition Realty is quite, it acts as a powerhouse and it acts as a great inspiration for all the other female entrepreneurs that are out there looking for some hope, looking for some motivation. So again, thank you so much for empowering our listeners, and thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
As we bring this episode of the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast to a close, we're left with a wealth of knowledge and inspiration from our conversation with Debbie Cosic. Debbie's experience in building a successful business and breaking barriers in a male-dominated field provides a blueprint for entrepreneurs striving for excellence and equality in their ventures. We would also like to express our gratitude to our partners, our exclusive banking partner RBC, our exclusive shipping partner UPS, and our exclusive accounting software partner Xero, and lastly, our exclusive email partner Constant Contact as well. To our listeners, we encourage you to subscribe to the Canadian SME Small Business Magazine at canadiansme.ca for more empowering and insightful content.